The Krell were apex predators in every sense that mattered across 17 star systems. Standing 3 meters tall with obsidian scales that could deflect plasma fire, retractable claws capable of rending duralloy plating, and a hunting instinct honed over 10 million years of evolution, they sat comfortably at the top of the galactic food chain. No species had ever dominated a Krell in single combat. No species had ever been foolish enough to try approaching one that was injured. Until Marcus. Chen stumbled upon one bleeding out in the wreckage of a crashed scout ship on Tau Ceti 4. The human surveyor had been mapping mineral deposits in the northern hemisphere when his scanner picked up the debris field. Standard protocol dictated he report it and move on. Standard protocol didn't account for the pained roar that echoed through his comm system, a sound that spoke of agony in a universal language. Marcus found the Krell pinned beneath a collapsed bulkhead, its right leg crushed and twisted at an unnatural angle. The creature's yellow eyes locked onto him with the flat, calculating gaze of a predator assessing prey. Its lips peeled back to reveal rows of serrated teeth, each one longer than Marcus's fingers. "Easy there, big guy," Marcus said, knowing it couldn't understand him but hoping his tone might convey something. He approached slowly, hands visible, watching for any sign the Krell might lunge despite its injuries. The Krell's breathing was labored, its dark blood pooling beneath the debris. Marcus knew he was looking at a death sentence if he didn't act. He also knew that every xenobiologist in the sector would call him suicidal for what he was about to do. He activated his exoframe's hydraulic assist and positioned himself at the bulkhead. "This is going to hurt," he warned, then lifted with everything the servos could provide. The metal groaned and shifted. The Krell roared, thrashing momentarily before realizing the human was freeing it, not attacking. As the bulkhead rose, the creature dragged itself clear with its powerful forearms, leaving a trail of black blood across the deck plating. Marcus let the debris crash back down and immediately unsealed his emergency medical kit. The Krell watched him, chest heaving as he approached with a foam canister designed for hull breaches. "This stuff works on most carbon-based organisms," he muttered, spraying the expanding medical foam over the worst of the leg wound. "Let's hope Krell biology isn't too exotic." The foam hissed as it made contact, hardening into a temporary cast that would prevent further damage and slow the bleeding. The Krell's growl shifted to something lower, almost questioning. Marcus met its gaze and nodded. "Yeah, you're welcome." He stayed with the creature for 3 hours until a Krell rescue ship appeared on the horizon. As the sleek vessel descended, Marcus backed away slowly. The injured Krell, later identified as Commander Vexthal of the Hegemony Fleet, watched him go without attacking, an unprecedented behavior that would be noted in the rescue team's report. 6 months later, human colony ships began establishing settlements in the contested Outer Rim territories. The Galactic Council, dominated by species who saw humanity as useful laborers but little more, objected immediately. Humans were too new, too weak, too soft to survive in regions where Krell war parties hunted for sport, and rival empires clashed over resource-rich worlds. Then something unprecedented happened. The first human colony ship to be approached by a Krell war fleet prepared for annihilation. Instead, the fleet commander opened a comm channel. The Krell on the screen was Commander Vexthal, his scarred leg visible even through the holographic projection. "The human called Marcus Chen showed me something my people had forgotten." Vexthal's translated words rumbled through the speakers. "Mercy has its own strength. The hegemony declares the human colonies under our protection. Any who threaten them threaten us," the colonial governor stammered. "Commander, we don't understand. Why would you? Your species helped one of mine when logic dictated he should have fled, when fear should have paralyzed him, when every survival instinct should have screamed at him to leave me to die." Vexthal's eyes narrowed. "We Krell are predators. We understand strength, and we have learned that your kind possesses a strength we never considered, the strength to show compassion to monsters." Word spread rapidly through the hegemony. The story of the human who helped the apex predator became something of a legend among the Krell. Other commanders began to see humans differently. Not as prey, not as competitors, but as something potentially more valuable. Allies who could be trusted even in their most vulnerable moments. When raiders from the Vortak Collective attacked the human settlement on New Borealis, they expected easy pickings. Instead, they found themselves facing a combined defense force of humans and Krell, fighting side by side. The battle lasted 4 hours. The Vortok retreated, battered and bewildered by the alliance they encountered. At the Galactic Council's next session, the ambassador from Arcturus Prime rose to object to humanity's expanding presence. Before he could finish his prepared speech, Commander Vexthal's hologram materialized in the chamber. "The hegemony wishes to make our position clear," the Krell commander announced, his words cutting through the political discourse like plasma through tissue. "Humanity has earned our respect through an act that defied all predator logic. They showed mercy when they could have shown fear. They offered help when they should have fled. The Krell hegemony now considers humanity to be under our protection. Any aggression toward human colonies will be considered an act of war against the hegemony itself." The chamber fell silent. No species in the council dared challenge the Krell directly. Marcus Chen, now serving as Earth's diplomatic liaison to the hegemony, stood in the observation deck of the orbital station and watched as Krell patrol ships escorted human vessels through what had been hostile space just months ago. Vextal approached, his gait still slightly uneven from his old injury. "You changed everything," Marcus said quietly. "I just wanted to help." "Precisely," Vextal replied, his translated voice carrying what might have been amusement. "You helped an apex predator. Soon we realized it had become something more than that. Through your mercy, we became protectors. Through your compassion, we found a purpose beyond hunting. You showed us that there are different kinds of strength, human, and perhaps the greatest strength is knowing when to extend a hand instead of a claw." Marcus smiled. "We have a saying on Earth. The measure of civilization is how it treats its weakest members." "Then by that measure," Vexthal said, baring his teeth in what Marcus had learned was the Krell equivalent of a smile, "perhaps we Krell are finally becoming civilized, and we have humanity to thank for showing us the way." In the void beyond, human and Krell ships flew together toward a future neither species could have predicted. Bound by an act of mercy that transformed apex predators into unlikely guardians of the most unexpected allies the galaxy had ever seen.